Everyone knows that Salesforce exam questions are tough. They're bizarrely worded, difficult to understand, and in some cases, it's not even clear what they're asking. Well, what if I told you that there are three main types of questions in any Salesforce certification exam? And if you learn and understand these types of questions, you'll give yourself a great chance to pass that certification. In this video, we're going to discuss each one and what you can do to make sure that you nail them. Broadly speaking, there are three types of Salesforce questions: definition-based, process-based, and scenario-based. Before we dive into each one in detail, let's quickly cover what each one is. Definition-based questions test your knowledge and understanding of Salesforce concepts and features. Process-based questions check that you know how to apply those concepts and features in the right steps. And scenario-based questions are the toughest. They really dig deep into your understanding by giving you a scenario and a number of solutions that you have to choose the best one from. Often, multiple answers could be right, but your job is to pick the best one. The first type of question that we're going to cover are the definition-based questions. These type of questions test your understanding of specific Salesforce terms. Think of them as a quiz of your knowledge of Salesforce language and terminology. Many of the questions that you're going to face will ask you for a solution, and then they'll provide you with a number of options. Most of them will sound familiar. For these type of questions, you need to be familiar with the terms. If you're not, you're going to struggle. I've seen multiple answers with made-up features, and in this case, you can use the process of elimination to rule out the answers that you know are wrong. But often, the best way to get these questions right is just to learn and memorize certain terms. Preparing for these types of questions is pure memorization, and there are a number of techniques that you can use to enhance your ability to learn Salesforce terms. Flashcards. One of the most famous techniques are flashcards. If you haven't come across these before, it's when you write the question or term on one side of a card, and then on the other side you write the definition. This gives you a quick and easy way to test yourself. Mnemonic devices. Another favourite for many people are mnemonic devices. This is where you use a saying or a phrase to remember a concept. So at school, I use the phrase "never eat shredded wheat" to remember north, east, south and west. For Salesforce, I have used the saying "very awesome admins want excellent people." That helps me remember the order of execution: validation rules, assignment rules, auto-response rules, workflows, escalation rules and processing. Spaced repetition. Sometimes the best way to remember terms that you're struggling to is just to drill, and drill again. And I find that spaced repetition really helps with this. It's when you review the term twice a day for a week, then once a day for a week, and then once every other day for a week, and you keep reviewing it until you remember it. The next type of question that you'll face are process-based questions. They are more about testing it if you know how to apply the concepts and features. They require you to understand the process of the concept that you're being asked about, such as the steps needed and the order of them. Usually, you might get a question that asks you about how to enable something or how to fulfill a requirement. Understanding the process of the concept is key here, and you need to understand the process to select the right answer. There are a couple of effective ways for you to prepare for these types of questions. The top three that I recommend are hands-on practice, mental walkthroughs, and step-by-step notes. Hands-on practice is my number one tip. There's no substitute for being hands-on and getting hands-on experience. By configuring the features and walking through what needs to be done and when it needs to be done, you'll get a really good grasp of the process. Think of it a bit like muscle memory. Mental walkthroughs. When I have a goal in mind, I struggle to stop thinking about it, even at night. And when I'm learning new Salesforce features or concepts, I'll often replay the steps in my mind, which helps me to cement them. I can't tell you the number of times I've been led in bed thinking about Salesforce flows. Step-by-step notes. I'm a big fan of writing things down. There's just something about putting pen to paper that really helps you remember and learn the concepts. Taking detailed step-by-step notes of processes helps you remember them, and you can even go one step further and draw out flowcharts. The final type of questions are scenario-based questions. These are the ultimate test of your knowledge and understanding. They are role-play questions where you're given a scenario and then asked to choose the best solution. When you face these types of questions, there's a couple of steps that you can take to give yourself the best possible chance of getting them right. Firstly, you need to understand the scenario and the limitations of each answer. If you've used the techniques that we've previously discussed, then you should have a really good idea of how to do this. This will help you rule out any answers that are not right or don't fulfill the requirement. The next step, and this is the important one, is to pick the best answer. You'll probably end up with a couple of answers that could be correct. You want to make sure that you pick the one that is the best solution. So compare the answers that you have left and ask yourself, what are the limitations and implications of each one? How difficult and time consuming are they to implement and administer? For these questions, you want to take your time, evaluate the answers, and really understand the scenario. Don't fall into the trap of picking the first answer that looks right. Take your time and evaluate each one. Try to think about which answer will minimize the manual effort, is the most scalable, and make sure you look out for any gotchas or caveats. When it comes to Salesforce certification exams, there's no escaping how difficult they are. Hopefully, by exploring the types of questions, you can be better prepared to pass your Salesforce certification exam. If you are looking for clear, concise, and comprehensive Salesforce training that really helps you prepare for certifications quicker and easier, then check out Get Force Certified. There's video lessons, cheat sheets, and check your learning quizzes, which ensure that you're studying in the most effective and efficient way. Thank you.